So Chelsea just signed Joao Felix. Um, Guys, I made a video about it. One of my shorts that Arsenal should sign Joao Felix. I actually think Arsenal would have made better use of him than Chelsea would. And apparently, Arsenal were interested in Joao Felix and also Manchester United as well. But with an over £10 million loan fee for just what, 4 months, 5 months, both clubs were like, no, we can't do this. Only one team in Europe was stupid enough to be able to pay that kind of loan fee for Joao Felix, and that is Chelsea. So Chelsea ended up paying the loan fee and are also taking all of Joao Felix's salary. What? Who the hell is running this club? But Burnley is just here, just throwing darts on the wall, hoping for one of them to stick. It's almost like a child playing Football Manager. It's actually embarrassing to see. At some point, they were interested in the guy that Arsenal wanted to sign, Modric. It sounds like Modric, but Modric. They wanted to sign him as well. Like, where is that one going to play as well? Like, what is Chelsea actually doing? What are they doing? This is probably going to be a little rant here because, like, I don't know. If I were a Chelsea fan, I would feel so embarrassed. You should not be happy about all this spending. I know it seems interesting, it seems sweet, spending all this money. It shows that you have an owner that is going to spend the money. But if you're just wasting the money, what is the point? What's the point? When they were interested in Enzo Fernandez, I was like, I saw the price, 120 million. I was like, are these guys crazy? Are they crazy? Like, I like Enzo Fernandez. Actually, as a Madrid fan, I would actually prefer him to Jude Bellingham for some reason. I just don't. I think Jude Bellingham is a bit overpriced, in my opinion. He's great. He's a good young player, but I just think he's a bit overhyped. That's just my opinion. Maybe I may be wrong in future, but whatever. But even someone like me that loves Enzo wouldn't have even considered him over 100 million. And to be fair to Chelsea, that seemed like a ploy by them to unsettle Enzo Fernandez, and they eventually came down to, I think, 85 million or so, which is a bit too much to me for a guy that was signed just a few months ago for less than 20 million. Like, where are your scouts? Why are your scouts? Now, you have Christopher Nkunku. He's the new hot shot for Chelsea fans right now. Every Chelsea fan, you read comments now, all of them are already assuming that Nkunku is going to come and change life for Chelsea. I mean, why have we not heard that before? When they signed Timo Werner, everybody was like, and Nkunku is like another guy from Bundesliga who is kind of a systematic player. Werner was a winger stroke striker, played in a two-striker formation. Nkunku is almost in the same. So why are Chelsea going to play him behind the striker, false nine? Where? I'm not even sure they even know where they're going to play him. They just signed him because he was available to sign. They didn't sign him because there is a plan. Even Chelsea fans, if they are honest with me, they would admit that there is no plan here. They just signed Nkunku. There's no plan. If I will ask you as a Chelsea fan, if you are watching this, where are they going to play? Where are they going to play Nkunku? Where? Well, behind the striker. I think you have Havertz for that. You have not even used Havertz well. Havertz is a guy that was like a generational talent. He broke a couple of records as a young player in Bundesliga. Scored, like, you know, those records that you have, goals and assists records. He broke some of it, I think. And Chelsea signed him, and everybody was saying was generational talent. Now all of a sudden, Nkunku is going to be the guy. Havertz, sell him. The typical Chelsea fan is almost like every time a transfer window comes, oh, sign this guy. He's going to be the guy that's going to change life for all. Sign him. 6 months later, this guy is shit. Sell him. Like, this is not sustainable. It is not sustainable. It may look sustainable now because you're just spending money. It's not sustainable. You see, have this guy out there named Lukaku. What are you going to do with him? Inter is definitely not keeping him. If I were Inter, Like, I don't know, some of these clubs do a lot of dumb things. But if I were running Inter, I wouldn't keep him. There's no point. So what are Chelsea going to do with him? He's definitely not taking a pay cut. He gave him a 5-year contract, and by this summer, he's going to have 3 years remaining in his contract. What are you going to do with him? And I can remember that time Chelsea signed him. This is why I started this channel, so that I will put my opinions on record. I was very, very sure that Lukaku was going to flop. Very, very sure. I commented that on a lot of Chelsea forums, on SB Nation, on Reddit. I commented that Chelsea fans were like, "Oh, all we need is a goal scorer. Oh, we create so many chances. All we just need is someone to just tap it in." Anybody that watched Lukaku, if you actually watch Lukaku, not going to go and look at his stats at the end of the season, oh, he has 30 goals, he's going to solve our problems. If you actually watched him, you would know that he's going to have a problem at Chelsea. Personally, I've never liked Lukaku anyway. I've always felt he had a very terrible first touch. And as far as I'm concerned, as a striker, if you have a terrible first touch, I really do not know how you're going to survive. Now, if you're playing for a counter-attacking team, like a bottom team, Lukaku now, if you put him in one of these teams that are struggling in relegation in the Premier League, he's probably going to flourish because he's going to play counter-attacking football. But if I'm going to play in a team that is going to hold possession most of the time, what are you doing with Lukaku? I can remember vividly Chelsea YouTubers when Lukaku was signed. I don't want to put up the video. I can do a compilation of it. It's actually really, really funny. I watched it before I made this video when they were like, oh, he's the guy, Lukaku, oh. After a couple of months, they were like, get this guy out of here. It's actually ridiculous. Like, this is typical Chelsea fans. Just, sign him. Get him out of here after 6 months. The 2022 summer by Chelsea is probably one of the most bizarre transfer windows I've ever seen. Again, I mentioned this in Chelsea forums, that they were overpaying for players. And what did they tell me? So what do you want us to do? We shouldn't sign any player. It's better you don't even sign some players. It is actually like, let me put this out there. I don't know, maybe some of these clubs do not know that. Maybe I really do not know. Maybe they don't know that. They should employ me for it. It's actually better not to sign some players. Like, it's actually better not to make signings than to sign people that don't fit into your team, or people that are not actually that good, are average. You buy them for big money, give them big salaries just for the sake of signing player. For the sake of it, the seasons that Chelsea had the transfer ban, can Chelsea fans remember how that went? With Lampard, the guy that most people claim is a terrible manager. How did that go? Chelsea were great that season. With lots of passion, incredible football, entertaining football. Now they had issues with defense, but that was something that could be improved in future. However, what they had at the time was great, interesting, entertaining. Young players from the academy like Tammy Abraham, Mason Mount, Rich James, Tomori, all those guys were killing it. They even reached the FA Cup final. They lost to Arsenal, which I think they should have won. Maybe Chelsea needs another transfer ban. I guess that because maybe you can use your academy. Maybe you will not have to go and pay 63 million for Cucurella. 63 million pounds for Cucurella. What? I mean, come and give me 3 million out of that. Give me 3 million. I can change mine and my family and my generation's history with that 3 million. Went to go and waste it on Cucurella. You probably have better players in your academy, but obviously he has nice hair, plenty of it. And some Chelsea fans were like, "Oh, Pep wanted him, so he must be good." What? Pep wanted him as a backup. That's why they wanted to sign him for low 30 million, maybe 31, 32 million. Immediately, Brighton started putting the price up there. Even Manchester City, with their oil money, said, "Look, this is too much. This is too much." But Chelsea, as dumb as they were, when they paid 62 million, are you guys crazy? The next player that they signed this last summer was Raheem Sterling. This guy has good stats actually. He had good stats at Manchester City. But if you actually watched him, you see the number of chances that he missed. Missed plenty of chances that cost Manchester City a lot. But obviously, when you come and at the end of the season, you look at the stats. The stats look good. Goals and assists. This is the thing that is blinding football fans now. Goals and assists. That is what is blinding football fans now. People just look at goals, stroke, assists. That is the stats now. Goals, stroke, assists. No gameplay. Nothing. Just goals, stroke, assists. Finish. Signed him for 50 million. Made him the highest paid player. One of the highest paid players in the team. And gave him a 5-year contract. 5-year contract. Who is giving out? Who is doing all this? Like, just like how they gave Kepa a 7-year contract. Like, what the hell? 7-year contract. So, they made Raheem Sterling one of the highest paid players at the club on a 5-year contract. So, at the end of this season, Sterling will have 4 years remaining in his contract. What? The next player that they signed was Koulibaly. This guy was almost clocking 31. And I know he was one of the best centre-backs in his prime in the world. But he was clocking 31 years old. Chelsea went ahead. Paid over 30 million for this guy. For a guy that was close to 31 years old. Paid over 30 million for him. And gave him a 5-year contract. Are you guys mad? Are you crazy? What? 5-year contract. When is that contract going to expire? It's going to be 35. I don't know the exact sum, but I'm pretty sure Koulibaly got his last payday. I'm pretty sure of that. And kudos to him. If I were a player, I'll try to scam Chelsea as well. It seems like Chelsea is ripe to be mugged. Seriously. Another really bizarre signing during the last summer was Wesley Fofana. Good player, and a young player as well. Where you could look at, okay, if you sign him, he's going to give you a couple of years. But unfortunately, he had a very, very horrific injury the previous season. Horrific one. He missed almost the whole of last season. What did Chelsea do? Go and spend £75 million on him. 75 million. I'm not a football expert, but even I know that if someone has a serious injury, the least you could do is at least wait for him to recover. Maybe give him a season to recover and regain that form that you have in your head that you think he's going to deliver. At least let him get back to fitness before you sign him. And someone could say, oh, try and take advantage of the fact that he's not fit. Try and sign him before okay, fine. Then get him on a discount. If Chelsea signed him like for 40 million, okay, I would understand that. Because you could convince me that they were signing him during the point where his value was low because he was injured and he had a very serious injury that people were not sure of how he's going to recover from. But what did Chelsea do? They went to go and pay the kind of money that they would pay if he was the same Fofana that was balling. Now, after signing him, he has barely played this season. And all they're saying is, let's wait until Fofana comes back from injury. What? Common sense would tell you, just wait. Let him play at least half a season at Leicester. At least half a season. Personally, I would wait for a full season. But at least half a season. Let's see how he recovers. That's common sense, but it seems common sense isn't common at Chelsea these days. I'm not even going to talk about Aubameyang. I'm not even going to mention him because people have to realize that Aubameyang loves Barcelona. He loves Barcelona and Real Madrid, and he actually wanted to play for Real Madrid as well. So when he went to Barcelona, he was motivated to perform. What did Chelsea do? Go rescue Barcelona from their financial troubles. If you have so much money, go and help the poor. If you have so much money, if you have money to just waste, go and help the poor. Seriously. So after all these signings, at that point, looking at it, I was thinking that these were Thomas Tuchel signings. And I was like, okay, let's see how this works. Even though I thought there were a lot of overpays in all those signings, I was like, okay, let's see how it goes. Maybe it's the manager that wants these players. What do Chelsea do? Sack the manager. What? Like, and the funny thing is that I actually like Graham Potter. He's a good coach. Actually, I actually think he's an excellent coach if you give him the time to build, not Chelsea. But I can't really blame Potter. I mean, it was a 5-year contract. If Chelsea were to sack him, they have to pay him close to 50 million. So I guess it was worth it for him. But it was always a very, very bad move for him, because Potter is the kind of manager that has to build. He's not the kind of manager that just come in with all this sack and switch that Chelsea does. He's not the kind of manager for it. He needs to have time to build. So I always felt it was a wrong move for him. So when that happened, I was confused. I was like, what the hell is this guy doing? This Todd Boehly guy doing? It made no sense. It really made no sense. So some part of me was like, okay, maybe Boehly wants to change things. He wants things to be different at Chelsea. Not the whole sacking of managers every season, you know. Maybe he wants to try and build a sustainable football club. And so far, it seems like Boehly is sticking to his guns. But it's only a matter of time. Already, the fans are already singing Tuchel's name, singing Abramovich's name during games now in Stamford Bridge. So, like, it's only a matter of time. He's going to fold. Personally, I think Potter is a great coach if you give him the time to build his team. But I don't think it's going to happen at Chelsea. It's not going to happen. So I think they're going to keep losing. They'll keep losing. And Potter will probably be sacked in the near future. I don't think it's going to last. Even Todd Boehly, even if he had a plan, there's going to be a point in which it's going to get so bad that he's going to sack Potter. He has no choice at that point, because the fans are going to moan and moan and moan and moan about it. And Chelsea fans are kind of used to this whole sacking and swapping managers every season. So I'm not sure that I'm ready for this kind of long-term investment. They're not. But on a serious note, if I was a Chelsea fan, all this frivolous spending would really worry me. Todd Boehly and his people, they're not the Gulf states with endless money. They're a consortium of businessmen. At some point, all these flops is going to get to them and are going to stop spending. So if I were a Chelsea fan, I wouldn't really be so excited that we have owners that are going to spend money like Abramovich used to spend money. So if I were a Chelsea fan, I would rather hope all this money that is being wasted on flops to actually improve the stadium to be at least a bit bigger than championship level. Because a club of Chelsea's stature should not be having a stadium of less than 50,000 seats. It's embarrassing. So all this money that Chelsea is wasting, I think it will probably be better to spend it on trying to expand the stadium. I don't know how you're going to do it. I know there's some politics involved. I know Stamford Bridge is located in the busiest area in London, so you can't actually really expand. And to relocate, politics is involved. You can't really relocate. I don't know what you could do. But if I were a fan, I would prefer all this money that is being wasted on players should be focused on trying to create a sustainable football club, not just a club that doesn't just depend on some sugar daddy to come in and be spending some money. It's not sustainable. I mean, look at it. You've only won one league in over a decade. You've won some cups, won a couple of Champions Leagues, but it's not sustainable. Cups and Champions Leagues are different. League is what you use to show your consistency, and Chelsea have clearly not been consistent. I think Chelsea right now are kind of a joke. A lot of football fans are laughing at them, to be honest. Like, all this spending, and it's not really improving the team. Imagine doing all this and getting worse. Spending all this money and getting worse. It's actually hilarious to watch. Anyway, what do you guys think about the video? I know some Chelsea fans are going to kill me under the comments, which is fine. It's just my opinion. I actually think Chelsea are a joke right now when it comes to the transfer market. In terms of the field, teams have slumps. You have a lot of injuries, so I can't really blame you in terms of what is happening on the field. But in terms of what is happening in the transfer market, you guys are a joke. If I were a club or a player, I'll be trying to do some daylight robbery on Chelsea right now. Anyway, guys, what do you think about the video? Put it down in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. Like the video as well to get this out to more Chelsea fans to see it. Maybe they can start telling their club to start having some sense in the transfer market. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.